Hi.
My name's Nidhi Gotgi. I'm from Salesforce.
Hi, Nidhi. I'm Pat. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Pat. Is it okay if I have a seat?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, how are you today, Pat?
I'm having a good day so far. It's nice outside. I mean, it's the middle of the work week, so it's going good. How's your day?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It's going really well. So Pat, I know that you know Sam Johnson. How did you guys meet?
So Sam and I actually met about 2 years ago. Our kids play for the same softball team, so I've gotten to see him a pretty good amount of times in the past 2 years. I mean, for different tournaments and different softball games. I mean,
oh, great.
He's a cool guy.
That sounds
How
awesome.
do you know him?
Well, we actually met at a work conference, and we, just kept in touch, and we bounced ideas back and forth. We work in the same industry, so it's pretty cool to have him around. And we were actually talking, and he brought your company up, and we were talking about this article that we saw in the Dallas Business Journal about how great your company is doing, and but he did say that you were concerned about a few things, and he told me to kind of give you a call, and I know that you're a little short on time today. You only have about 15 minutes, correct?
Yes, 15
Yeah,
minutes.
so I know I'd just like to sit down with you and chat about what your concerns are and see if I can help you find a solution.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Well, I actually, before we get started, I wanted to give you my business card. If you ever need anything, I'm only thank you. I'm only a phone call or email away.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for taking the time out to talk to me. But is there anyone else that could benefit from this conversation?
Not really. I mean, I'm going to be the one making the decision. If needed, I can go ahead and relay any information. But I'm the one that's really concerned with it all.
Okay, great. Well, is it okay if I take notes while we're
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, like I said, my goal is to just understand your needs and try to help you find a good fit in terms of a solution. Do you have any specific goals for today?
Well, really, I just want to, like you said, pretty much the same goal is to be able to tell you a little bit about what we're dealing with and our challenges, and pretty much just hear what you have to say.
Okay, great. Well, like I said about the article, I know that you guys have been in business for about 25 years, and you made about 30 million in sales last year. And you also are growing about 10% each year, which is really great. And I guess where we come in, Salesforce, is that we're a customer relationship management tool, and we just kind of help you implement better communication methods and really help your team collaborate with one another. To help you find a better solution, could you tell me a little bit about how your operation works in terms of how many dealers you have?
Yeah. So right now we're really dealing with 300 dealers nationally.
Okay. So you're not thinking about reaching out to the international market or anything?
Not really. Right now we definitely do not distribute internationally, but through some research we have found that there is interest in Europe and Japan.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your team. How many people are overseeing the operation and how many people are on the field?
Okay, so the way it works is we have 5 people in the management portion, and then from there we have 4 regional managers, and they're the ones that are going to work more closely with our sales reps.
Okay.
And for sales reps, we have 20 sales reps that really talk to all the dealers and handle all of that.
Okay. Well, what kind of a business model are you guys looking to, or are you already using in terms of how many people you deal with every single day?
Well, right now we're really focusing on really developing closer relationships with the dealers that we already have. We're not really focused on getting new leads or dealing with new dealers, but with 300 dealers that we already have a relationship with, we're really focused on finding or being able to develop a closer relationship with those.
Okay. Well, how are these salespeople currently keeping you updated and keeping themselves updated amongst each other and really sharing the information that they gather?
Well, right now we're using a system that's, in my opinion, a little outdated. We're just using Microsoft Outlook, Excel, and accounting data to keep track of everything. So it can be a little tedious and a little time costly, but that's really what we've used up to this point.
Okay. Well, like you said, you said it was tedious. How does that work out in the grand scheme of things?
Really the biggest problem with using that kind of software is that there's no real-time information that I can look at, or any of the other managers, or anybody really. Like, if a salesperson updates some kind of information, nobody else gets to see it. And I mean, I can't even tell you how long it takes for us to see it, but That's the biggest problem. Another thing, and well, what that causes is it makes our salespeople work by themselves. They really don't have a system of support or of other people that can help them and make them more productive and more successful out there. So our biggest issue really is not having that real time data available.
Okay. Well, you told me earlier that you did want to build on those relationships and not really reach out to new leads or anything like that. Um, what do you think would happen to those relationships given that you're having some trouble aggregating information and using that information to make informed decisions?
Yeah, well, to be completely honest, I feel like the relationship would probably be negatively impacted. Just because, I mean, the dealers aren't going to want to deal with us if it doesn't seem like we have our stuff together. I mean, it just seems unorganized and unprofessional. So
Right.
I either see those relationships, they just stop growing, which is the goal, or they just completely disappear and they don't want to work with us anymore. So it's definitely something we want to avoid.
Right, I agree. Well, how do you, I know that you said that it takes you a while to get that information. How do you end up gathering that information? Do you talk with your salespeople every now and then?
Yeah, so the way it usually works, I'll either set up like an in-person meeting or talk on the phone to the salespeople about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. I mean, that's kind of beneficial. I'll get some information, definitely more than I had initially, but I still don't get the amount of information that I really need and really want from them. Just because, I mean, it's hard for me to get that information, and it's hard for them to really keep control of it all and really have it all organized.
Right, right. So you would say that it's not very effective to have those conference calls every week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, not really. It's definitely not as effective as I wish they were.
Okay, and you definitely are looking for a platform to have all this information be in the moment, real time updates.
Yeah. So definitely, I want something that's gonna be up to date. I mean, I want them to be able to keep their information up to date, and I want to be able to see it up to date. I want other salespeople to be able to see it, or other managers to be able to see it. I want it to be there when anybody needs it.
Okay. And I'm curious, you did say that you want to increase every year by 10% your sales. But how do you plan on doing that if you're not going to reach out to new leads?
Well, really what we're focusing on, like I was saying, is developing those closer relationships, and then we hope that those relationships will lead to more shelf space, really, is what we see, how we see ourselves benefiting as our relationships grow. I feel like the dealer is going to be more supportive and push our product more and increase our shelf space, really.
Okay. And obviously close relationships are a really big deal for you. What things would you say are your top 3 priorities about what would you like to see change?
Well, with building those close relationships, I think some of the things that are keeping us from that is I definitely want to be able to collaborate. So I want ourselves, like I was saying a little bit before, but I want our salespeople to be able to collaborate with each other and share what works and what doesn't. And I want to be able to see that information. And I definitely want the customer relationship management, which is a big portion. I want the salespeople to be able to keep track of all that information because it's important. I don't really see how we can be successful or effective without that.
Right.
And definitely, I mean, just the real-time information, like, it just gets frustrating when we need information and we don't know where it is or we can't find it or it's not updated or it's just something's always wrong, it seems like.
Okay. Well, going off of what you just told me about, not having real-time information, not being able to manage your relationships well, and just really aggregating all the information you need to make informed decisions, what are in order to help you find a solution, I just wanted to know what's important to you when you're thinking about these problems and you're trying to come up with a solution for them. I know that you've emphasized maintaining those relationships very much, but are there any other issues that you're worried about?
Well, I'm definitely I want to find a solution that's not going to take forever to implement or forever to find success using it. So something that if we go with a program or we install a platform or whatever, I want to be able to see progress in a feasible amount of time. I don't want to wait 2 years to see something happen.
Okay, so you're concerned about the learning curve here.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I do want to tell you that the way we do installations is we are with you the whole time it's happening. We have our staff on hand. The installation staff stays for about a month. To kind of hold your hand, take you through the whole process. We do kind of startup seminars to get you up and running. and really get your employees to understand how it works. And they're there to answer any questions and do any troubleshooting that might need to be taking place.
Okay.
So they're really there for you. So.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I guess another concern or something else that I'm a little worried about is just security. I mean, I feel like this is pretty basic, but obviously there's going to be important information flying around, and I want to make sure that our dealer's information or any customer information is going to be safe.
Okay. Well, I do want to tell you that we at Salesforce, we put a lot of emphasis on holding ourselves to really high standards in terms of security, privacy, and reliability. We actually have several certifications from associations that hold us to these standards, and I can send you a list of those certifications so you can go through the criteria, or you can just go on our website and it's all listed there.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'll take a look at them.
Okay. Well, what if I told you that, looking back at what you've told me so far, what if I told you that I had a product that'll help you manage your sales pipeline, help you build those relationships with those customers and upsell to those customers to increase shelf space like you were talking about, and then also help your sales representatives collaborate amongst each other and with you to help you make more informed decisions. How does that all sound to you?
Yeah, it sounds great. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have the product on hand, so I can go ahead and show you. Basically, the way we do this is that there's you can go on the app and it's right at your fingertips, so you don't even have to be in the office to really keep up to date with what's happening. And you can see any information uploaded by your sales representatives in real time, and any new renewed sales contracts, any new sales, any updated information on customers, basically anything that'll help you make your decisions as the vice president of sales and marketing.
Okay, I mean that looks great. I'm just kind of concerned about the price. I mean, it looks like a premium product and it looks really nice and really cool. It's just I obviously want to have something that's within our budget and something that I feel like is that I can afford. Basically, the company can afford.
Okay, so are you to my understanding, are you worried about the return on investment in terms of you'll invest a lot of money in this and then you won't find the right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously if it's something that we'll invest a lot of money in and then it's gonna give us a return on that investment and on top of that, I can definitely justify that in my head and it makes sense, but I just want to make sure that this is something that's going to do that.
Okay, well, let me tell you that our past customers have found that on average their sales increased by 27%. And I know that you want to keep increasing, keep that momentum going where you're increasing by 10% a year. So how does 27% sound versus 10%?
Well, I mean, it sounds great. If it's something that's feasible and something that we can do, then I'd definitely love to grow by 27%.
Okay, well, does that answer your question about justifying whether the price is worth the product?
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to help us grow that much, I can definitely understand why we would go with paying for something that's a little bit more expensive, but that's going to pretty much give us that return. So thank you.
Okay, awesome. Well, Pat, I've really enjoyed talking with you. Do you think that you'd be interested in keeping this conversation going and learning more about our product?
I definitely love to. I have to run to another meeting in a little bit, so I definitely love to be able to sit down another time and talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, that sounds great. How does next Tuesday sound at 10 a.m.?
That should work. We can go ahead and do it next Tuesday.
All right. Well, thank you, Pat.
Thank you so
for your
much.
time.